Hello, it is me once again, in the midget right now. This is end up being a stream. For those who know what's going on right now, to show you right now in Google Maps and up to this first. Well, here's a little bit of looking right now, so yeah, I'll not be surprised if you know what's going on right now. Pakistan's getting really close to going back to war against India, though. The region within some areas right now are just gonna be within those areas. So I'll not be surprised that the Pakistan troops are gonna surround around the border. It stands for right towards the Afghan, Iran, and Pakistan border there, all the way up towards to Afghani, China, and Pakistan border for the other side. Towards India, from the Jammu Kashmir region, from Punjab to Rajasthan, and then go all the way down to Gujarat. The Indian border, this includes everyone from there. Yeah, the kind of fear right now is, I know, India's, not India, Pakistan's gonna be end up to go through like a two frontal war. This two frontal war, that they end up allow issues to the end up for both sides, and they end up for real, and then this is gonna be very interesting to end the way I thought. These are the end up for sure anyway. And it kind of feared, well, no. And here's the thing, Kabul's right close to Pakistan, so they can launch troops right out of the surprise attack right into Kabul first, and the end of it is. Problem is that Kabul falls to Pakistan. That means the whole entire Taliban will surrender very quickly. Yeah, I think Afghani government they end up did not think very well for the placement of the capital of Kabul. Anyway, because it's really close towards to the Pakistan border. Anyway, it makes sense. But in India, this is for India. I know Pakistan cannot take over India very easily. But it's zoom very closer. Look how close to the placement to Kabul is to Pakistan. Yeah, you can see the Pakistan border very well within the mountains because of how close they really are compared to looking at already. But here's a little obvious fact too. It is need more field right now because, yeah, you think it's either Pakistan's really close to Kabul, but look how close it is to. This is a line control line area, and beyond that is India. So, yep. So Islamabad is really close to the Jammu Kashmir area. It's some sort. Yeah. Islamabad is also, or Islamabad, I should say, is extremely close to the conflict zone in Kashmir and Jammu. And as you know, Islamabad is really the capital of Pakistan. Surprised by fact? The people think Karachi on the whole that they're going to be a capital there, but no, it's Islamabad, which is really close to the conflict zone of Jammu Kashmir. So technically means India can easily go human way much to the capital first and then surround Pakistan like as is, which kind of make it obvious right now is that it doesn't seem that good. At the end of for both Pakistan and otherwise, despite the end of some sort. I know Pakistan and Taliban might not even take over that because Islamabad is so far away. But only India can take over Islamabad very quickly. and then it caused a fall in Pakistan from right there and right now, what it kind of looks like. So here's how I think it's the most likely it's gonna be at this point. So technically, it's impossible on top of that. Pakistan, Pakistan's gonna be facing against both Afghanistan and India at the same time. So they literally got surrounded. The problem is, both sides are gonna easily surround Pakistan for all sides, except for the border of China and the one in border with Iran, and also Arabian Sea, though too. So it makes sense, though, because it makes sense in the point of context. Though the E-way, so before they ask yourself, did the Pakistan money to lose his war against India and Pakistan? Not Pakistan, Afghanistan? Answer is yes, I think they would. Because although Pakistan has a strong military, it even has nukes. The problem is Afghanistan for one front and India for the other front. It sees too much, and they're kind of afraid their military is going to stretch thin. Not only attacking the airstrikes into Afghanistan, but if India jumps into this inside of Afghanistan, then Pakistan's pretty much over. So you see why. At the end of it, in an obvious sense to yourself. So technically, Pakistan is screwed before the war started. At the end, I found out for sure. Anyways, this makes sense. So, yep. But I found out for sure. For real. But it just makes sense. Well, the second thing is that they should have mentioned right now is the future of the United States. Well, here's the thing on that. I will show you right now, and I think this is what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, I found out right now. Yeah, this says on the Wikipedia article, because the end of people did not know about already, but you know, Trump is technically support heavily involved with fascism. Is the way it is. I'm most likely sees mostly heavy support in the Dark Enlightenment, which is technically part of the modern scene of fascism these days. So, anyway, you can see already there's some sort anyway. If people say that the Democrats are supporting the political violence, but it says on here on Wikipedia, Trump has supported political violence against opponents and many epidemics and decided Trump's involvement in the January 6th U.S. Capitol attack is as an example of fascism. So, yeah, technically he supports the populist, far-right populist nationalists and other different ideologies. But compared to this chart here, it says who's a fascist. It is 44%. This is only Trump is a fascist at this point. And this is from the chart that we believe back in October of 2024, which comes, I think, technically a month before Trump's second term election. And it has won by him. Could give you like a big clue, which is for sure. In the end, the way it is. In the evening. Is it fun for sure? In the end, it's fun for sure. It is in the way it is. So it kind of says, I'm so sorry. It says that compared to Trump's term is a comparison to ideas from not only from Mussolini and others, but also from others on the relate this idea too. So it's kind of bad. So the people say the Trump's like Hitler, but the problem is it's nothing like Hitler. These days it's more towards like similarity to see from Benito Mussolini, and they end up compared to the way it is. That tail, that's probably Mama's cat jam on me right now, just ignore that. Here we go. So, yeah, Trump is just not a nice guy of some sort, but he is the main feud right now. Yeah. Before you ask right now, this is about. Yeah, look at the problem is, as you know, my now, yeah, this really is gonna be. I don't hate to see this one now. Cause I do think YouTube's not gonna like this, so they're gonna just say this one now because all the real lyrics is going on. But can they say about now that this border agents, like death heads or just some sort, and they're not gonna say the border agent's name, and also they do not gonna say the death heads where it is called. So I think gonna say border agents clearly represent as death heads. So the way it is to be in a more YouTube appropriate state than saying this one now. And if you know the border agent's called, look at this poster, you know what I'm talking about. And death heads, and I'll show you later, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah. So yeah, they just show you death heads that they end up talking about. Yeah, those are the death heads. Part of you can tell already what I'm talking about. So it makes sense. They found an important context. Yes, as you know already, this is from the Republican side of the DBU. It is, I think it's going to continue on these JD Vance. The JD Vance might literally just copied ideas from him and they can continue on his legacy. But just not very good. So, and yeah. But also, here's the thing one now. Here's a little bit of the between words. The United States Democratic Party is now shifting. And here's the thing one now. The Democrats these days are no longer loyal to Biden, Kamala Harris, and Obama. And I found out right now these days, the Democratic Party is now abandoning Barack Obama and Joe Biden altogether. Like, yep, literally abandoning Obama and Biden altogether. Instead, some of those things shifting more towards the supports of Bernie Sanders. In the end, of Bernie Sanders supporters, and they end up on the rise in the Democratic Party, because the people in the Democratic Party thinks that he think that Bernie Sanders is more loyal and more loving than Biden and Harris did, and they end up think Bernie Sanders and his supporters is the only this group of people that who end up save the Democratic Party in the future. And then this one is in some sort. That means Sanders supporters on the end of is the end that's on the rise, and they think they'll literally be the true gods of the Democratic Party. This is why you had leaders like the mayor-elect of New York City, knows Manani, that they end up is in ruining New York City as mayor after New Year's Day next year, and then others. It's kind of related towards the Sanders supporters of some sort. And the most Republicans say that this is just pure communism of some sort. I think that's not even right. There's some sort of compared to say it right now. Yep. Yeah, I think the former party knows the Democrat Socialist. And as you know, the Democrat Socialist of America is the same political party that Bernie Sanders originally is from. Or it is a some sort. Because here's the Democrat Socialist is not like communism at all. It's kind of like it's like a democratic communist type form of some sort. It's not even true communist. So yeah, they kind of feel this gets almost kind of almost seem copy almost the same ideas based on that. And this is kind of feared that this is gonna be end up like it end up seen all the way in Sri Lanka and others. Yeah, some sort. I would not be surprised. Like it kind of feared that if this, it kind of feared the 2028 election as I might be see Sanders supports the White House, and it kind of feel a lot of people think this might lead to the United States go down the Soviet communist direction, which is not very true because they never were going down that direction. This is just Trump made propaganda they're saying in speech right now. They just think they end up they think the Democrats are a bunch of Soviets. Yeah, that's not true at all. Yeah, that's not true. That's just talking propaganda, and you know how well Trump is around propaganda these days. So yeah, just don't mention it at all. You're not even close to me. Soviets are communists, so no, not even communists at all. They're literally Democrats. Socialist is different than communism. Read, read the fine print with what communism is compared to what Democrat socialist is. It, yeah, it's kind of what that is. So because the Sanders supporters, so you got the problem is that they need to kind of feel in here to 2030. Then we have the Republicans originally for Trump, and then they got the Democrats originally from Sanders, and they overwhelm the government at this point. This might form the United States into a one field analogy, and I had a thought about. It's in the field most. I'm gonna show you about an analogy I'm literally talking about. Here it is, known as National Bolshevism. National Bolsheviks it's a centric movement. It's in the mix of ultra nationalists with communism. So it's combining those two into one. Known as Nazbols at this point. So you're living looking in the United States for the full majority for Trump's fascists is Sanders socialist, and they end up combined into one in the 2030s, which means the United States is technically no longer be democratic, but centric, which means that they are led by two-party communists and fascists into one. So which means the United States in the next decade will end up being 100% embracing NASBOL, which is in the United States going to be probably be the first nation to end up being led by a bunch of national Bolsheviks. And at this point, and they can feel to the new future of some sort, technically means the United States is no longer democratic in the saying in not only in words but also in vain. So which means that so the end up seeing a full-fledged national Bolshevik rise of power for both sides, thanks to not only from Sanders but also Donald Trump. So yeah, so they end up cause a change of the United States forever. In the end of recovery for that will end up be a miracle. And they'll be recovered after that. So it's again the only way to get out of that is going to be probably for taking a coup for both sides, of both Democratic and Republican Party coup, and in a full-edged wash the hotel government at this point. But I do not think it's actually going to happen. So yeah, I'd not be surprised this the face of my march as for the United States in the future, and this will be a little bit concerning for the U.S. at this point. Anyway, because United States international Bolsheviks at this point is a large nightmare. So technically means, in hell, they do not need a traditional working party to lead Bananas Bowl. Instead, you literally had Trump-style Macas with Sanders support Democrat Socialists to be the main counterlink to the National Bolsheviks to itself. So this might be what I've been looking at for the future, and this is kind of what the way it is. Those two that are on the end of it could be the counter route when it was coming in the future. So yeah. So yeah, so I'll not be surprised for that for sure. And it's gonna be the coming for anyway for the future and then for where it is. That means they're gonna get to be fascists in some states like Oklahoma, Kansas, and some sort. And the blue line where they end up like California, Washington, Oregon, New York, and so others are gonna be in the left direction. So you're gonna see have a full-fledged one-party Nazbol system within the United States, probably in the start in 2029 and continuing on the 2030s. Because you have Trump's style of fascism is going to be stuck there for a very long time. Plus, also will probably the rise of Bernie Sanders' supporters to take over all of the Senate in the House, probably the White House too, at this point too. So they led to the full-edged 100% national Bolshevik. So they don't see why. So which means at this point, United States is technically screwed, and I think as it became a new era in the United States, that's the end of new life, and they had no choice than to deal with it at this point, which is it's kind of bad, but it's literally no other direction to compare to say it right now. Because I knew since this is what come to be, for sure, for real. So I'd not be surprised. So I think the only way to get rid of this, which is probably a couple decades or years or whatever it's going to be, I think the only way to get rid of national Bolshevism in America is probably full-fledged government overthrow by civil war. Well, the U.S. is trying to avoid that, but I think it's the only way. So, yeah. So, not be surprised with that in front of for sure. Yeah, so, yeah. So, so not my, so not my, yeah, of some sort. So, so, yeah, so, hope you're liking the end of this too. Would have put all the videos into. Yes, this but that is it for the. I did put two videos in one because and then to show you the main proof. So, hope you like this video or stream wherever it is. Like and subscribe and ring the bell, and then do not miss anything more for this. And otherwise, gonna for sure see you in the next video from both Joshua Cahill, my main channel, and Pal Cat's branding channel. This is some sort of I forget it's called. And otherwise, see you next time. I'm finding him out of here, and otherwise say, well, bye for now.